Hey, what's up you guys? This is Sentai22 here. How you guys all doing? Bringing you another gaming console review for you. And today I'll be checking out the NEC PC Engine. For those of you who live in the US like myself, this is the Japanese version of the TurboGrafx 16. Now, NEC wasn't really well known electronics company like the likes of Sony or Panasonic. From what I can remember as a kid in school, all of the educational films, or in some cases if you had free time you watch cartoons, the TVs were always NEC. I never remember, going to the store, electronics store, seeing NEC televisions. It was mostly Sony or Panasonic, but when I go to school, that's what they had. I guess NEC kind of signed a deal with local public schools. I'm not sure how it worked, but who knew that they would make a game system after I was born. Now, this system was released in October 30th, 1987, and it became ridiculously popular in Japan, outselling the Famicom, and pretty much took the chunk away from Nintendo until Nintendo released the Super Famicom in the early 90s. Now, of course, this was the first ever 16-bit system, although technically it's not really 16-bit since it used a 8-bit CPU, but the graphics processor and the video encoder were 16-bit. Now, one thing cool about this system is these type of cartridges that these games were in. Now, these are called HuCards. Now, HuCards are essentially the size of credit cards. You would slide the HuCards into the PC Engine or TurboGrafx 16. You would turn on the game like so. There's like a tip that will hold the HuCards in place, and you're on your way. Now, it's definitely a lot better than the cartridges since you don't have to blow it so many times so that the game can work. This, you just slide it in, turn on the switch, and the game is ready to go. So that's one cool thing about it. Also, the size of this system, I mean, literally it's a small console. Just to give you an idea, I'm going to put it right next to the Nintendo Entertainment System. I mean, just look at this. Just look at this thing. I mean, you could probably, let's see if I can open this up, put the PC Engine inside the NES. Nah, it won't fit, trust me. But still, I mean, it's a pretty small system compared to the other systems like Nintendo and Super Nintendo, as well as the Sega Genesis. So definitely it is a very, very cool and small console. So now, because Nintendo of America was holding third-party companies hostage, this was the reason why the TurboGrafx 16 failed, because it did not have any third-party support. The PC Engine, however, in Japan enjoyed a lot of third-party support. Some third-party support that you would never even expect. Here's a couple of examples. Here's Afterburner and Space Harrier, both games that were made from Sega for the PC Engine. Yes, this is before Sega went only software. Keep in mind, at the time they had their Sega Master System, so yeah, they did other games for other consoles as well, so that was kind of interesting right there. I mean, it's kind of sad that the TurboGrafx 16 did not do well in the US because of Nintendo's greediness, you could say. Also, one thing cool about this system is that it's very known for a really awesome 2D shooters. Some people say that it's pretty much superior than the other console versions that they were ported in at the time. So very interesting right there. Also, the PC Engine came out in very different varieties. You got the Core as well. You got the Super Graphics. You got the Core, and you got the PC Engine Duo as well. So came in very different variations throughout the late 80s, as well as the early 90s. Also, one thing interesting is the games. Even though it stopped production around 94, there were a lot of companies that were still making games for the PC Engine until 1999, so that's pretty cool. Alright, now let's take a look at the system very closely. As you can see, again, it's very small. You have the HuCard port right here in the middle. As well, you have the one controller port. Sadly, this is one thing I don't like about it. Since it's just one, you have to buy the multi-port adapter for it. And speaking of controllers, here is the PC Engine controller. Yes, it is pretty much essentially the TurboGrafx 16 controller, only white. And here you have the switches. In order, if you're playing 2D shooters, you don't have to, fuss over just shooting like this. You just press it all the way, and the shooting goes by itself, essentially. Of course, you have your select and run, which is AKA for pause. That's about it. Just turn on the switch, and it'll indicate that it's on or off. So, as well, the slider, which secures the HuCard in place. Here on the left side, you have the power port. As well, here in the back, you have the port for the CD attachment. And here on the right, you have the RF port. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to give you guys some really awesome demos of this system. So, like I always do, here we go. Okay, now I have my PC Engine set up to my old school TV. Now, there's a few things that you guys have to keep in mind. If you're planning on getting a PC Engine, make sure that you have the following. Have a Sega Genesis Model 1 power supply, as well as the RF cable from either a Sega Genesis Model 1 or a NES. Do not use the power supply that came with the PC Engine, because Japan and the US have different currents of voltage. So if you're putting the Japanese PC Engine power supply on an American socket, it will burn the PC Engine. So again, get the Model 1 power supply, get the Sega Genesis Model 1 power supply, as well as the RF cable. The RF cable for the PC Engine does not work on the US. Just get yourself either a NES RF cable or a Sega Genesis Model 1 RF cable. So as well, always, since it is a Japanese system, instead of your usual 3, set around channel 96. Remember that, 96, not 3. So, alright, so let's turn on the system. The game that I'm playing is R-Type Part 2. It's a really awesome 2D shooter. So, here we go. Oh. Oh man! Just be careful when you're playing these 2Ds. I mean, they are very difficult 2D shooters. I mean, you can get used to it once you know their combination. Damn it! Again, right in the same spot too. Oh. See, not this time. Not this time! No, no! No! Ah, damn it! Wow. I have to say, one thing I really like about this system is that even though most of these games are essentially 8-bit, they really play them really well on a 16-bit system, even though technically it isn't. So, right now the next game that I'm going to play is Afterburner from Sega for the PC Engine. I know it's kind of weird, but what are you gonna do? Alright, turn on the game. Damn. No! Damn! Keep in mind, guys, I'm not very good with the 2D shooting games, so I try my best. So let's see. Let me try. I don't know what this game is called. It's from Hudson Soft. It's Aerial Blaster. So let's put this in. No! No! Wow. Final verdict, if you're a big 2D shooter fan, or if you like to dabble into the PC Engine gaming library, obviously you cannot go wrong with the PC Engine or the PC Engine core graphic or whatever, because this, like I said, they came in different variations. Also, I could have shown more gameplay footage of some of the other games that I have, but you probably wouldn't want to see the footage of me just losing every time. So again, it is a really awesome system. If you ever get a chance to pick this up, particularly the PC Engine, the first model, is a little easier and a lot cheaper to get. As well, the games for it are just awesome as well. They're very affordable to get. I'm not sure about the rare ones, but again, they usually go around maybe sometimes 19 to 20 bucks each, so keep that in mind. So anyway guys, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed my really awesome review of this really great system. If you guys want, you can comment as well as subscribe to my Facebook as well my YouTube channel. This is Sentai22, and thanks for watching.